for?
Because I've got an opinion.
You're a racist,
I'm allowed my
little
opinion.
prick and I don't want you around here.
What's racist got? Racist got
Come back to where you come from.
Yeah,
No.
what are you doing? Who are you pushing?
No.
Who are you pushing? You
People say to me, but Tommy, you're continuously involved in violent confrontations. Well, yes, I continuously have to defend myself. There's no videos of me being the aggressor, but unfortunately, and the difference is, you see, the politicians, they have security. They don't have to walk these streets. I have to walk them. They're my streets. I have to.
This British Muslim boxer thought it was a religious cleansing when he launched an unsuspecting attack on Tommy Robinson in Dubai. But he never expected what the EDL boss did next.
Don't interview him. He's a racist prick. What are you giving him airtime for?
They are in.
It was a busy night in Dubai at a major boxing event. Tommy Robinson was standing in a bright orange shirt, calmly chatting with someone backstage. Suddenly, a tall Muslim boxer named Ty Mitchell charged in like an angry bull, towering over Tommy.
They are in.
He's a racist rat.
They are in.
Why are you giving him airtime for?
They are in.
Fuck him.
They are in.
He hates Muslims, but he's in a Muslim
They are
country.
interviewing me.
Where that one at?
They are
He's a
interviewing me.
fucking
Yeah,
prick.
fine.
Don't give him no airtime.
Mate, go on,
You hate
sir.
Muslims like us. Why are you here? Why are you in this country? You
I'm
hate
here
Muslims.
under invite, actually.
You hate Muslims, so why are you in a Muslim
I'm here
country
under
for?
invite, bro.
You're a little rat.
Yeah, good one.
Uneducated little rat.
You're uneducated. You're uneducated.
You're a prick. Get the fuck out of here. You're not wanted around here.
Fuck off, you mug. Let me
You're
finish
not
my
wanted around
interview.
here.
I'll finish my interview.
What this interview?
I'll finish my interview.
He's a fucking idiot.
finish my interview.
No point in no interview. Don't give him no time. The racist rat bastard. He hates Muslims, but he's in a Muslim country. Where that one at? How the fuck does that work?
Do you know how
out?
many Muslims I know that are mates with you? I don't like terrorism. I don't like jihadists.
Neither do Muslims.
So stand up against me.
I do stand up against her. Yeah, I do. Why don't you stand up against the groom against that are white? I've only ever seen you stand up against. I'm from Derby, England.
You're from Derby,
Yeah. I only see you stand up against the Muslims. I stand.
With tattoos across his neck and fire in his eyes, Mitchell began shouting at Tommy, calling him a racist who hates Muslims and demanding to know why he was even in an Arab country.
What do you mean what am I doing here? I'm a professional fight for misfits. I'm a misfits fighter. What are you doing here? I'll go against anything that's against Islam.
Okay. So
Raping's against Islam. Grooming gangs are against Islam.
I'm here under the invite of Emiratis, who I'm meeting tomorrow to discuss terrorist organisations in the UK. So that's got fuck all to
White
do
ones
with
or
you.
just Asian ones?
I'm here to meet Emirati Muslims who work, Muslims from here, the United Arab Emirates, who work against
the problem is,
against the
let me
Muslim
tell you the issue I've got with you. The issue I've got with you is I'm not bothered. No, but I've watched you stop, and the issue I've got is you're only against Muslims. Why when a white person does something, you don't post it?
What have I said that you disagree with? What have I said?
No, I'll tell you what I disagree. You only push a narrative against Muslims.
Give me what I've said.
I'm telling you, you only push a narrative against Muslims.
Tell me what I've said.
Why do you not go against all the white people that do it and all the Christians?
Shall I tell you?
In your Bible it says that if a woman doesn't pray when she covers her hair up, you don't put that out there.
Let me tell you.
Go on then.
Because 90% of the men convicted for raping young kids in gangs, 90% are Muslims.
Most of the nonsense look like you though.
That's not my fault.
Most of the nonsense look like you.
I'm giving you a fact. I'm giving you a fact. The majority of nonsense are white. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, well then, so why don't you? I don't see you pointing that shit out.
Because it's a majority white nation.
You've got an issue. You come out there. I know. I've seen you on the news with the fucking Quran saying that you're against this book. What against the Quran are you against?
Reading things out.
Yeah. Out of context. Anyone can do that out of context. I can read the Bible out of context.
Okay.
And the Bible's far worse out of context than the Quran.
Rather than arguing me, go argue with ISIS, go argue with Boko Haram, go argue with Al Qaeda.
I do. So why don't you go argue with all the paedophiles in the churches?
Okay.
Why don't you go
do you believe in free speech?
Yeah.
How about you fuck off and let me finish my interview then?
Why is your free speech only against Muslims?
I'm not talking about Muslims.
No,
you're
I'm on about that's what you're known for.
Because I've got an opinion.
You're a racist,
I'm allowed my
little
opinion.
prick and I want.
Without warning, Ty shoved Tommy hard, throwing a sneaky punch that forced Tommy to step back.
Racist got
Come back to where you come from.
Yeah,
No.
what are you doing? Who are you pushing?
No.
Who are you pushing, you fanny?
No.
But Tommy didn't panic. He stayed composed and responded with words sharper than fists.
Who are you pushing?
I'm just doing an interview now.
Lucky, do I look like I give a fuck about you? Do I look like I give a fuck? Do I look like I give a fuck about you? Do I look?
Security rushed in as Ty tried to lunge again, but Tommy laughed it off, calling him a thug who couldn't handle real conversation. Ty didn't wait around for the consequences of his actions. He ran off looking foolish. A few days later, Mitchell released a response explaining why he confronted Tommy Robinson, whom he still believes to be a far-right Islamophobe.
I've been overwhelmingly inundated with messages. I'm talking tens of thousands of DMs. I can't even get through them all. And they're mostly from just normal, average, working people, white, British people saying, I'm so glad you stuck up for humanity.
No, I've seen you on the news with the Quran saying that you're against this book. What against the Quran are you against?
Reading things out.
Yeah, out of context. Anyone can do that out of context. I can read the Bible out of context.
Okay.
And there's like a lot of people, it really wasn't welcome that there's more nearly everybody there was just whispering, saying, oh, Tommy's here, why is he here? And I just thought, well, there's a lot of people, obviously, that don't want him here, so I'm assuming someone will confront him or ask him to leave or whatever. And it didn't happen. I kind of just left it, but it was like stirring in my belly, and I just thought he said so much hateful things about Islam and about Muslims that I just couldn't stand there, and he was walking around with his chest out.
So come back to where you come from.
Yeah,
No.
what are you doing? Who are you pushing?
So I just thought I would confront him on his inconsistencies and contradictions and hypocrisy, really. And it's like, well, you say you hate Muslims, then you come to an Arab country.
According to his logic, large numbers of people, mostly white Brits, messaged him praising his actions and telling him he did the right thing. He admitted to pushing Tommy but continued to label him a racist spreading lies.
It's like not liking paedophiles and then going to Epstein's Island. And then also, my biggest gripe with him is not only his misinformation that he likes to spat out, and his evil rhetoric, it's also the fact that you only do it against Muslims. One thing that I regret pushing him. Conscience was running high, I'm a human, I make mistakes, I shouldn't have pushed him. It was more of to prove a point that you can bully other people and intimidate other people. You can't intimidate me, I've pushed you and there's nothing you can do about it. I give Tommy Robinson an olive branch. I say, look, if you truly care about the greater good of this country, we can work together. We'll all stand together, but we have to call out everything that's wrong, not just one particular group. Some of the stuff he says is very valid and it needs to be said.
Ty bragged about his mixed background and his knowledge of the Quran, even suggesting collaboration if Tommy were willing to call out bad behavior. But it came across as excuse-making. He couldn't hide the fact that he lost the argument and resorted to violence. Once again, Tommy's truth appeared to shine through.
Awareness needs to be spread on it, but the problem he's got is he doesn't do it from a sincere place. He doesn't do it because he cares about the victims. He does it because it's a way for him to get his racism under a guise of, oh, I'm just spreading.
But there are thousands of Muslims who openly hate the United Kingdom. They burn poppies, symbols deeply significant to soldiers who fought in the 2 world wars. There are claims that 250,000 white working-class girls from broken homes have been abused, with allegations that the majority of offenders were Pakistani Muslim men. So asking why Tommy was in Dubai is seen as ridiculous, when the same question could be asked about why such individuals come to Britain, burn the flag, burn poppies, and abuse vulnerable British girls, some of them children from broken homes.
Yeah, I just think he's a racist bigot and he's using his platform for evil and not good. My mother's white English, my dad's black Jamaican, was both born in this country, and I'm a revert to Islam. So I know what it was like to be a non-Muslim. I know what it was like to be a Muslim. I know what it's like to be a black person. I know what it's like to be a white person. I'm in a very peculiar situation where I can see it from all angles. I've educated myself on the Bible. I've read it many times. Maybe he should educate himself on the Quran by a Muslim so he knows exactly what we believe and why we believe it, and maybe he will take a bit of the hatred out of his heart.
What Ty said was underinformed and ignorant. It is argued that asking why Muslim men commit such acts against British children is not wrong. Many people think Ty sounded razor-sharp simply because they agree with him, but in reality, it was inarticulate anger driven by perceived insults toward Islam. Even after all this, Ty Mitchell still wasn't satisfied. He posted another video the day after the assault.
You lot are moving mad, yo. My Insta is flying. I can't get back to all the messages. I've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of messages, but listen, thank you for all the messages, but I didn't need it. I was just sick of him walking around and no one saying nothing. He's a prick. And if I was a different man, the man I was before, I'd have chinned him, but that's not how we solve things these days. You've got to be the bigger man and do better for the Muslims, but fuck him, the little midget.
Not long after, Tommy Robinson sat down with Brianna Morello on InfoWars to address the incident, his face flushed with frustration.
So all of these lies continually told for 15 years, they build up an image of a satanic figure. So some people, we have left-wing activists, but some innocent people have been lied to, they've been radicalised, and they actually think when they see me, they're confronting a fascist. I'm not a fascist, they've been lied to. So I don't hold any animosity to the individuals that have been lied to. I blame the media. I blame their lies. Now, unfortunately, on this day, when I was walking, I was aggressively confronted. I was threatened continuously. Now, this was the worst, most scary week of my life, Brianna, because I expected them to get rid of the CCTV. When I was walking through, I was confronted. I had someone in my face. I was threatened. I tried to get away. I don't just go walk around punching people. I don't. In fact, I hate these situations. But I am not going to apologise for defending myself. If I am put into a position where my back is against the wall and I have no other option, I will defend myself. And I'm never going to apologise for that. And unfortunately, in this situation, when I watched the CCTV, because yes, there was these scenes of me being arrested.
For 15 years, he said, the media has painted him as a satanic figure, radicalizing the public into viewing him as a fascist. Tommy called out what he described as lies, refused to apologize for defending himself, and demanded the full video be released to expose the truth.
Because after this incident where the gentleman was left asleep on the floor, I contacted the police, I contacted them straight away. I said, this has happened, I've been aggressively confronted, I've been followed, I've been harassed, and when it got violent, as in he was coming aggressively and violently at me after I tried to get away from him for minutes, I had to defend myself, which has resulted in this situation. I made myself open to police interview. I actually spoke to the police for days, arranged to come and meet them, and then they turn up like this and meet me off the plane and make it look like I'm some fugitive, when I'm not. And when I sat in interview and I watched the video, there has never been a better example of self-defense. And as I keep saying, release the video, okay? Again, there's so many people say to me, but Tommy, you're continuously involved in violent confrontations. Well, yes, I continuously have to defend myself. There's no videos of me being the aggressor, but unfortunately, and the difference is, you see, the politicians, they have security. They don't have to walk these streets. I have to walk them. They're my streets. I have to walk them, and I walk them on my own, and I walk them with my head held high. And whilst I wish this gentleman a full recovery, I know he was not in a very good place, and he wasn't but again, it wasn't my problem. I was forced into a position of self-defense, and I defended myself.
The situation escalated further when Don Keith and James Harvey weighed in on the issue of Tommy's arrest in Luton.
But it does happen.
You know, I was seeing another thing I saw, I believe it was this week, the government has agreed to take in hundreds of kids from Gaza.
Don, apparently Tommy's been arrested.
Oh, no.
It says that Tommy's been arrested.
I knew he was going back today. He told me he was going. He actually told me he was coming back today. He was going to turn himself in. So I figured that was going to happen.
Yeah, he's just been arrested, Luton Airport. It was all over the news.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's just like I told you, harassment causing fear of violence doesn't apply to someone harassing and causing fear of violence to Tommy Robinson. If he defends himself and he feels threatened and someone harasses him enough to make him feel threatened, he defends himself, he's not going to get the same leniency that everyone else gets. So it doesn't apply to Tommy Robinson, anyone else on the right, as a matter of fact. But, the footage is out there, man. That guy was a complete psychopath.
They criticized what they described as double standards, arguing that harassment laws fail to protect Tommy when he fights back, and referred to the attacker as a complete psychopath.
Screaming to the top of his lungs, clenched fists, and all these things. The video's there to support it. There is video footage out there that's gonna show what a psychopath this guy was. I know that for a fact, 100%. So, public opinion's gonna get to weigh in on this. Now, I don't know if they'll show the security footage that was at St. Pancras Station, but there's other footage out there. Trust me. So
it's just scummy what they've done. So they, like my auntie, who so on my mum's side, my family's very left wing, and my dad's side they're very right wing. Yeah. It was my auntie on my mum's side who was basically.
According to them, it's all part of a system biased against the right, veteran or not. If you issue threats, consequences follow. Later, Tommy appeared on I-24 News as fiery as ever.
We had 5 politicians who were pro-Hamas elected at our last election, and the Labour Party have recognised a Palestinian state to try and woo back some of that Muslim vote. They've surrendered our country already to jihad. Now, what they're trying to do, they're trying to blame the soccer fans from this country on the problems, which was an orchestrated, mass organised attack against Jews in Amsterdam. It was a total attack against Jews, and somehow they're making like they're the problem. So if I go to the game, which we cannot, we hear there's no no-go zones. Yeah, I know many no-go zones. They've just told you, they've told the world that Birmingham is a no-go zone for Jews. That's what they've said. It's not safe. That's not me saying it. That's the police saying it. It's not safe for Jews to come. So if...
Last question. What are you going to do to make sure that, obviously what happened in Amsterdam is abominable, and the decision to not allow or ask Maccabi fans not to go is one that's viewed in Israel as outrageous. On the other hand, are you worried that if your supporters come with you, that things could get out of hand in the other direction? And what are you going to do to make sure that that doesn't...
He blasted Labour for what he called surrendering to jihad, electing pro-Hamas MPs, and banning Maccabi fans from Birmingham over safety concerns.
About that, because the last 4 events I've had, the last one had 1 million people. There's minimal trouble, minimal problems. Our supporters listen to us. I think that the government and the police should have been too concerned about the reaction of what would happen if they made it a Jew-free zone in the city of Birmingham. But they're not concerned. They're continually pandering to one community, the hostile, aggressive, violent Islamist community of our country. Birmingham is a 30% Muslim community. It's Birmingham today. In the future, what are they going to say? We can't have planes from Israel. We can't have planes from Israel because Heathrow Airport can't take them. This airport can't take them. It needs to stop. It needs to end. I'm fed up of Jews having to leave Great Britain and Jews having to leave Europe. Okay? We're replacing Jews, if you want to talk about replacement theory, we are replacing Jews with jihadists, rapists, terrorists. That's who's being replaced. The hardest working, taxpayers, well-integrated, family-orientated community are having to flee our country. I've had enough of it. And when people say never...
He went further, declaring that Brits stand with Israel, not Palestine, raging against what he described as replacing hard-working Jews with rapists and terrorists. Never again means now, he thundered.
And I'm here to tell the people tonight, Britain does not stand with Palestine. Britain does not recognise the British people. Our government may have pandered, we don't. Jews are not left alone, Jews will not be fighting alone, we will be standing side by side with them in Great Britain.
But the most emotional moment came when Tommy broke down during an interview with Avi Yemeni after viewing previously unseen footage from October 7th, showing what he described as the depravity of jihadists.
You don't hate them enough. We don't hate them enough. I don't think that anyone understands what the mindset is of Hamas, who Hamas are. And that must, it's only an incredibly frustrating thing if you watch that and you understand that they're celebrated in our capital city. And whilst they're celebrated, the police didn't enforce any law against them celebrating. Prescribed terrorist organisations were continually celebrated every single Saturday for a year after that. The next week, in fact, in the first 48 hours, they were out marching in celebration across the West. And you have to see those 2 young boys, their dad's killed in front of them. The mum then turns up, she's trying to get them. And then it's horrible, man. They go into the kitchen, yeah, they're hurt, and the jihad is just standing there, sipping Coke, sipping a bottle of Coke. The kid's on the floor, and then the little boy's trying to help the other boy.
Tears flowed as he insisted the public must see it to understand the evil on display. Constant attacks, media smears, arrests, and threats have worn him down, but he claims they've also made him stronger, allowing him to confront what he sees as hypocrisy with unyielding truth.
And their little brother's trying to help, the big brother's trying to help him. I just don't think that when we hear or you see the news or you see the media, you see the portrayal given. You need to watch those videos. And you need to understand what the people living here in these civilian areas face. Because the people just over that fence in the neighbourhood next door, which is what you can see how close it is, there's no big fortified separation. There's just a little fence and there's a mile. Yeah? And then you understand how those people think. You know the Blackland Theatre, you know Nice, you know the Manchester Arena bombing, you know all the attacks on Westminster Bridge, do you know all the Al-Qaeda attacks? All of these are the same mindset, but there's an entire army, an army. We've got handfuls of these successful terror attacks. There's an army, or there was an army, thankfully many of them have been killed, but there was an entire army stationed on that border, on that border, on that.
I think there is an underlying reason why so many British people hate Tommy Robinson. Let me know in the comments if you share that same sentiment. Hit like and subscribe for more.